Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you in a very special way for tuning in to our show. You make it great because you have supported this channel ever since we started, and I don't take that support for granted. Thank you very much. Allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel if you are watching us for the first time, or you've been our regular viewers but you have not yet subscribed. We need to grow together. And this can only happen if you render that support by subscribing. And if you love our shows, please turn on the notification bell so that whenever we release a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you and you'll be the first to see our videos. Give this video likes so that it can also be recommended to many more people and help us share our videos. Once again, thank you very much. The general himself is back into the country. I'm talking about the barrister Miguna. And you know, when Miguna is in town, everyone would want to hear what Miguna is saying. He's been tweeting. But now, he was in the country and he spills more beans. Miguna wade into a lot of discussions, and many people have spoken and have really analyzed about the mess and the rot in Nairobi County, the thieving that is going on. He talked about people whom he feels can inherit positions of power. And then he joined Oburu Odinga in calling the son of the late General Ogolla, Joel, into order. And he was saying that that young boy is not well-mannered. He does not understand the village and the traditions that must follow when you lose a great person like Ogolla. And people have spoken about this because it was only Oburu who rescued the Luo nation when some people thought that the government was using Joel to shame and humiliate us in his father's burial. But something caught my attention. People have spoken about his son's behavior. But something caught my attention that I want us to listen to, because this is something you've listened to over and over again. Miguna is telling us that we cannot be muzzled. You know, we do not want to talk so much about the death of General Ogolla because of two things. One, investigations are going on, and we want to wait for the investigations, which, if you ask me my personal opinion, there's nothing that will come out. We will blame the weather, we will blame the body parts, something of the sort. We also want to rest his soul. We want to let his soul rest in peace because the family have lost a great man. But Miguna is saying that general don't just die. Human beings are not dogs. And so we cannot be told that we cannot ask questions. You know, when it comes to matters that touch on the military, they don't want their matters to be spoken about. They want to be let to do their own things. But Miguna is saying that we cannot be gagged. We must ask the hardest questions. And then when he was talking, Miguna said something that baffled me. First, he said that William Ruto cannot be implicated because he's the one. He did not benefit in the death. He's saying we should look for the person who benefited. And he's saying that it cannot be not William Ruto because accusing fingers are being pointed at him. But then Miguna is saying that there could be a possibility that the current CDF general Kahariri could have also been involved in the death. That was a bit scary. And I want you to listen to him.
Benga TV, they're asking General Ogolla. A lot of people have theories around it.
Yeah. So what about General Ogolla?
What's your take? Was he killed? Was he?
No, I mean, it would be responsible for me to declare that General Ogolla was killed when I have not done an investigation and conclusively determined that he was killed.
Okay.
But his death is shrouded in mystery. And a lot of people like me do not want the rush and the muzzling tendencies that we saw at the funeral and surrounding his burial. His children spoke a bunch of rubbish. That boy does not know what he was talking about. Joel, his son. Complete rubbish. You know? You cannot say, and this one speaking even as a Luo, you cannot say there is any Luo man who says, bury me within 72 hours, bury me naked, don't eat at my funeral. What rubbish is that? Where was this boy raised? He has no authority to speak about the burial of his father, traditionally. He should have kept quiet and gone back to Nairobi. Yeah. And there is no way that as a son you can rule your father's death as accidental. Was he there? Let this thing be investigated professionally. I don't like the fact that the military are investigating it. Because what if he was killed by a fellow military man? What if his deputy killed him? What if other military people killed him? What if the thugs killed him and the military want to cover it? All these questions, there should be no question that cannot be asked. We need to ask all the questions.
And they all need answers.
And they all need answers.
That are verifiable.
Correct. So there is absolutely no issue. I cannot say to anybody, even my enemy, that they die under the circumstances that General Ogolla died and that nobody should ask questions. This silly thing that, oh, asking questions will not bring him back to life. What nonsense is that? It will prevent another death if it was caused. Do you understand? Or if it was negligence, we would be able to prevent another negligent death. Why not?
Sure.
A human being is not a dog. They cannot die just like that. And generals do not just fall from the air.
That's also true.
So we have to ask about all these questions because a CDF is secured just like a president. Where was the evacuation team? Where was the evacuation strategy? Where was the rescue strategy? Where were the escort planes or helicopters? Do you understand my point? So why should we not ask them? If in fact, as people are speculating, the plane or the helicopter was changed in the morning, who did? Ultimately, who gained out of the death?
The motive.
Very important.
Motive.
President Ruto did not gain because it is him some people are accusing. So he didn't gain, right? But somebody did. Who is it?
There you have it, from the general himself.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a little bit alarming and shocking because the general is saying that what if his deputy killed him? What if the other military officials killed him? What if someone else or some thugs killed him and they want to sabotage the investigation? And the part of his deputy caught my attention because I know that from where you are, these are things that you have spoken with a lot of undertones, where you play street politics, people have been asking questions. And I remember sometimes Robert and I was saying that Ruto cannot be, blamed because he benefits nothing. I analyzed to you that in the new arrangement, in 2027, as William Ruto will be seeking for a re-election for a second term, there will be a change of guard in the military. And the new CDF will be Tarus, the man who is currently the commander in the Kenya Army. According to the 20 rules, it will rotate and it will go to the Kenya Army. People have looked at that and they're saying that Ruto will benefit. But then for Miguna to mention a CDF, the current CDF, I mean, it was really, really, there was tension when he mentioned that. And you see, he's saying, Musituzie uoga. There is nothing that we cannot ask because we've lost the life of a human being. And now, what this means, number one, is that Ruto must understand that are really, people really feel very suspicious about the death of Ogolla. And he must understand that what Miguna is saying, Miguna is simply trying to echo what other people don't want to say. Because now they are asking, could there have been a possibility that the other people in the military rank aided his death so that they could take over? You know, these are things that have happened before because we've never lost a CDF, a working CDF. Most of them have died in office. We have the first CDF was Ndolo, who died after leaving office, and then I think General Mulinge also died after leaving office. All the other generals, General Pande, Kianga, Mwadede, Karangi, Kibochi, all of them are living well and they are healthy. And so people really question, why would we lose a CDF and we have Miguna is saying, where were the evacuation team? Because I understand that where the general is, there must be other helicopters following very closely. You saw General Kahariri when he went to supervise the search for bodies in my mind. You saw the kind of security that he has, and people are asking that we now have a general who is being aided, assisted to cross some water when we could not protect the late General Francis Ogolla. So Ruto must know that people are speculating and people are really, they feel that the death could have, it could have been a sabotage from within. Because do you think a civilian can kill a general? I mean, it cannot. From where you sit as a civilian, do you think that you can sit down and start saying that, I want to kill Ogolla? That is if it was not a natural death. So Ruto must know that. Number two, there are calls from all over that we must have a proper investigation, and this investigation cannot be conducted by the military itself. That is what many people are saying. Like I said, Miguna echoes what other people feel, that if the accusing fingers are being pointed at the military, then William Ruto should have a neutral body. I don't know what neutral body we are talking about here, because people have always talked about Scotland Yard and some CIA and all that. It cannot come from the West, because the West and Ruto is the same thing. They will always give a report that is friendly to the government. So if we have a neutral body, we can only get someone or somebody from Russia or China or these Eastern superpowers. Because obviously people feel that if we are going to investigate using the military, then already people don't have faith in it and they will not accept what is happening. And I don't know what to think. Like I said, these are sensitive matters, and especially now that Miguna is trying to mention names, we really need to come out very clean. And this causes a lot of tension, because I can assure you, we can pretend, but there are people within the military ranks who also feel the same thing that Miguna is feeling. Yes. And I like what Miguna is saying, that he cannot speculate, he cannot talk with authority that General Ogolla was killed. It could have been a normal accident or negligence. Maybe some engineers did not tighten very well parts of that chopper. And so he's saying that we need to. Why? He says that we must ask questions so that next time we can avoid, for example, if it was as a result of negligence, someone did not do his part, so that they are brought to book. From where you sit, I know Miguna has revived this discussion, a very sensitive matter involving the military, but Miguna is saying that we must talk, because this is not a dog, this is a human being. We must talk because the death was shrouded in mystery and things that cannot be explained. I don't know what William Ruto is going to do, but can William Ruto investigate his own CDF? Do you think William Ruto can investigate General Kahariri? Because of the nature of their job, Even mentioning that he could be part of it to the military is a crime because they know. But I can assure you that the people feel that there could have been some foul play in it, and we want to wait and see. I don't know whether Ruto will take will take Miguna's advice that this investigation will be done using a neutral body and not the military. I don't know, because I know it must involve the aviation department, but even the aviation department can never be independent. They will write a report that is friendly to William Samoei Ruto. You see, when there is a death that is, surrounded in mystery and suspicion, William Ruto must come clean. He's the head of state. It is the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. He must ensure that there is no iota of suspicion in the investigation. Otherwise, the very, very suspicion that people have treated him with will continue. And next time such a thing happens, people will already know that, this is the government. He needs to come clean on this. And the Miguna is saying that is not part of it. Others are saying is part of it. So he needs to come clean with a clean investigation that will satisfy not the ego and the suspicion of people, but a clean investigation, a clean report. What do you think about General Miguna's assertion and take? Because he says, msituuzie uoga. We are talking about the death of a general. For Joel Ogolla's son, I don't want to talk about it because he has been placed where he belongs. I don't know what to think, but that is my take.